Hello everyone, thanks for watching. This is KJ4YZI and you are watching HamRadioConcepts out here on the Ponderosa in the backyard today. We got a lot of stuff to burn over there later. Burn pit, have the neighbor over, have a couple beers lighted on fire. In the meantime, the first weekend I've gotten to be able to just hang out and play with some ham radio stuff. Now what I have here is the Chameleon F-Loop 2.0 Plus. The name of the game here is portability, efficiency, no tuner. I'm a resident antenna guy and I've got yelled at by thousands of you. And I started with the Chameleon P-Loop 2.0 I bought from Gigaparts like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and didn't use that too much, still got it, didn't use it too much. Then I got the MPass 2.0, that thing went viral after my video, and that's the best antenna still by far that I've ever owned or operated. It's in my bag, but with the travel trailer and the RV life, portability here with a 5-watt Zygu and an antenna that's most efficient is the name of the game. And I can tell you right now, for you guys that are in HOAs, ask John KM4MCK. He got that MPass, he's like a whole new radio operator. He could set that thing up in moments in the backyard, nobody even knows it's there. Same thing for this. You're on a balcony, you're on an apartment, you want to go vacationing. I had this in a hotel room in the Keys on the floor, and I was working FT8. I'm going to be using this on the porch on my RV that you'll see in a couple of videos. Even during the rain with the awning down, I can sit out on the porch, especially when it's nicer out, tune this thing up, play radio at 5 watts. Awesome thing. So I'm going to show you about this Chameleon 2.0 here, F-Loop 2.0. I have it set up right now. I'm going to redo the video here, start over, and show you the components and how I set this up. There's 3 ways you can set this up. It does 80 through 10 meters at 25 watts max. When I used this in the field in the past, I did use this with the G90 at 20 watts. It was working all over the place. I've had this for several months, and back to my story, when Chameleon did see me in the MPass and the P-Loop, they had sent this for free, and they said, hey, enjoyed your videos, check this one out, and I never got around to it. So if Chameleon's watching, sorry for the delay. I have used this several times, and it worked great, but I just never got around to making that video. So I have it all in a box right now because it comes in a bag, but I haven't got it all geared up with the bag. And they also sent me later on the hard aluminum loop I'm going to show you here, which is the 3rd way you can set this up. A single loop, double loop, and the hard mounted aluminum loop there. Let's check out the Chameleon F-Loop 2.0 Plus. Okay, so I'll show you the pieces here. This, to start, it does not come with a tripod, okay? There's a couple reasons why. This tripod here is for my P-Loop 2.0, and I'm going to get another one, the same kind that my Sony camcorder is on, with the quarter 20 screw on top to use this. So in this video, what you're seeing here is the tripod from my P-Loop 2.0, which happens to work, but I want to put this back in its natural habitat. So I'm going to put this back to the P-Loop's configuration when I'm done and get a tripod specifically for this F-Loop. Okay, so here is the tripod we're going to use in this video. Now, I'm going to show you this close up. This is the magic right here of this antenna first. This is the tuning capacitor. Now, magnetic loops have an entire theory and education around them. I know about how it works, sort of, but I am in no need a technical savant to tell you all the little things. Jan knows, Chameleon knows. But in a nutshell, this is a variable capacitor. Your loop, you see on the side, there's SO239s. So the loop is made out of coax, comes with it, goes up and around, and it essentially makes a radiating loop, okay? We'll get into more later. So this is the tuning capacitor, bigger than the P-Loop, and this does 80 through 10 meters at 25 watts. It's got a metal mounting plate in the bottom, and this mounting plate has 2 quarter 20 screw holes for a tripod as such, and you could even put this on the ground. Now, I had this on the ground in Marathon in the Keys in a hotel room one day, operating this on the ground. A loop, these loops specifically only have to be 1 loop size above the ground to be maximum efficient. You do not have to have this thing 40 feet in the air. It would do you no good. So, and plus you want to be able to tune this thing, so you don't want to mount it on your roof, does you no good. Basically how this works is the loop comes around one side to the other, and you're tuning this capacitor here from maximum resonance, minimum SWR. I'm going to say this, you do not use a tuner with this antenna. I repeat, you will not be using an antenna tuner with this antenna. Should I say it again? You are tuning your antenna right here. If you use an antenna tuner, you're gonna trash the antenna. It's not gonna work at all for you. No antenna tuner needed. That's why I like antennas like this. So on the front, this is ABS plastic, by the way. On the front, you'll see there's not a needle that moves here, but kind of an indication of where you are when you're tuning this thing, okay? For instance, down here, if I turn the knob all the way to the right, I would be at 29.7, the top of the 10 meter band if I was in the B section. That will go 10 meters to 40. Then I can switch to A, and I can kind of get it up here from 40 to 80, you know, 40, 60, 80. You're going to tune this thing with your radio connected, and that will, you can see your minimum SWR, maximum forward, okay? Now, another thing is, off of these, and it looks like we got a storm, all of a sudden that's brewing right there. So if this thing, if it starts raining, I'm finishing the video. Here you have holes here on the side for the hard mounted aluminum loop, which I'm going to show you also. But for now, we're going to start with the coax loop single. You're going to take this and mount it on the tripod like this, okay, or any tripod. All right, step one. Step two, we have a telescopic mast thing, okay. Screws right on the 3/8 by 24 on top, like this. And then pop these open, pull it up, okay. The next part you have is one of the tuning rings. This is a 6.5 inch coupling ring, but you also have a 7.5 for the double loop configuration, which is in this bag somewhere. It's right here. So it's a 7.5. So the book, the manual, the good thing about this, let me show you. Chameleon does have the whole manual in here on how to set this thing up, and that's good. When you're out in the field, it'll show you all kinds of the configurations of what frequencies they'll handle and stuff like that. Okay, so we're going to use this 6.5 inch loop. That'll go right on the top here with the 1/4 20 screw. Okay. So far, okay, you see that? I'll lower this down. All right. That's where your feed point's going to be, right here. Now, the next thing we're going to do is, it comes with several coax pieces. These are your loops. And what I do, they'll be rolled up real tight. What I do is I just go real quick, easily, and try to straighten this out. Now, I'm going to show you one more thing about this that I failed to mention in the last couple of videos. Do you see these coax pieces are made for Chameleon by ABR Industries. Chameleon antenna, this entire antenna, but minus maybe the ferrule or a threaded connector on there, is made in Nevada by Chameleon in the USA. These coax from ABR Industries are also made by ABR in the USA. And this green heat shrink is a token of showing you that when this thing's put together and crimped and done, it's been inspected and they've put their name on it. When you see that green heat shrink, ABR assures you're getting nothing but the best of quality. Now, I do use ABR coax at work in the LMR industry and you know, public communications. I use those for testing receiver sensitivities and powers with my bird meter and stuff like that. ABR is awesome, and they will do any configuration of coax that you want, any connector, any type of coax from SMA to 716 DIN, they'll make it. But that was your news flash on these coax that are in here, okay? Chameleon decided to use the best. So what you're gonna do now, when I pull this out like this, I kind of get it halfway in the middle like this. And I just lay it up here. You take the Velcro strap, go around, okay? Get that kind of cinched on there. Hold it on there tight like this. Bring that up just a little bit. Now watch. Put one end in one side, one end in the other, and then you'll pop it up, straighten it out, and make it as close to a circle as you can. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Okay. Looks about circle, right? Now it looks like an egg. I know they're yelling at me, "You moron, that's not a circle." Okay, hold on. I mean, doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, as I said. That's, you know, as quick as I can for a video, that is a circle. Okay, in this situation, right here, you have a single loop configuration on the F-Loop 2.0. Comes with coax here, much like the MPAS does, with the ferrule on there, or ferret on there. It looks like a sausage here, they call it. That's going to go here. And the sausage part, ferret, excuse me, choke, whatever you want to call it, goes on this side so that the RF coming off the antenna does not jump on the coax and go back to your radio, okay? So this right here, already you're set up as a single loop, okay? Not so much effective on the lower bands like 80 and 40, but 10, 15, 10, 12, 15, 17, 20, maybe 30 in a single loop fashion, okay? Now let's say you wanted more efficiency from 20, 40, 60, 80. You do a second loop for a double loop configuration. So what you're gonna do is you take the second cable here, comes with a barrel. I don't know where the barrel is at the moment, but I'll give you an idea. All right, you take this off, do the same thing. Straighten this out a little bit. Okay, go like this. Put another loop up here, okay? And basically, you're having one loop connected to the other in like a series fashion. Let me show you. It's on here. Okay. So you start here, goes around. The first one you're going to take off, and you're going to barrel it to the beginning of the second one. Like this. Okay? That's going to go barreled like this once you get it straightened out. Then the other side is going to come into the box like this. So basically what you have is 1, 2, right? One here, barreled, back to the second one. That's a double loop. I'm not going to do the double loop at this very moment for video's sake, but I'm going to, that was an idea on how to set up the double loop. Now that's going to get you lower bands like 80 meters, 60 meters, more efficiency down there because essentially it's twice as long, you know, longer loop. All right, let's take this off here. I'm going to screw this up. Okay, so that would be the single and the double. Now I'm going to show you something else here. When you use the double, you're going to put the 7.5 inch up here, okay? This one right here. That would be for the double loop, okay? Now, what's the third? So if you get the optional, pre-order only, hard aluminum loop, one piece, this is not for everybody because of course this won't fit in a backpack, right? The thing about this is because it's a wider, you know, radiator, a bigger diameter, no connections, hard mounted to the loop, it's more efficient and broader banded. Okay. When you get this, you're going to get this also. Now I already have a 6.5 inch loop, but you're going to get the 6.5 inch and this. The thing about this is pre-order only, takes like 4 to 6 weeks because these are made to order because they're like $90 to ship this. So they said, you know, if somebody wants those limited quantities, you buy it, they make it, you hang tight, you get it. But again, I can't fit this anywhere in my trailer unless it's under my bed or, so this would be good for someone who's permanently mounted on a balcony. But no need to have to set up in a backpack because you ain't taking this up a mountain, okay? So the way this would work is you'd take 2 of these Velcros, all right, with the 6.5 inch loop like this, or 6.5 inch coupler. Here's what you're gonna do. Balance this up here. You're gonna go like this with the Velcros. All right, 1, do 2 for good measure here to keep it spinning around. All right, and then you adjust this up or down to get these screw holes mounted up here. All right, you can see there's 2 screw holes, go up a little bit more, like that. Okay, and basically that's how the hard metal loop's going to be. And there's screws with wing nuts. I'll show you one here. And you're going to put this on with a washer on each side, like this. You get the idea. Like that. See, there's one. Put the wing nut on. Put the other. And now you have a really efficient broad banded loop. Okay, that's the third configuration right there. So in this situation, I'm gonna set up the coax, single back up to the coax and show you about tuning it, just because not everybody might have this. In the future, I will set this up. One very important thing, when you're tuning, if you would have seen this in the video I tried shooting earlier before I got interrupted, got myself zapped on here. So do not touch this when you're transmitting. Make sure you keep it away from people with pacemakers. Make sure you keep it away from metal structures. You don't want to put it inside a room where metal is like this, okay? Because it reacts with that. But you definitely don't want your bird or your wife touching this, okay? So we're gonna take this hard metal loop off, and I'm gonna cut the video and go back to the single coax loop, and I'll just tune that for 20 real quick and show you how you would tune something like this and how easy it works. Okay, get this back down here like this. So this is a very, again, this is a very high Q antenna, meaning all your efficiency is gonna be focused at one spot. But you wanna move up from CW to sideband portion, or CW to phone portion, you're gonna have to bump the tuning. It's very, very narrow banded, except if you go with the metal radiator, but it's just the result of having an antenna like this. And again, the theory will explain more on why that happens. So right there, okay, and you want this loop to be as straight. Let me show you. See how straight that is? As close as possible, okay, so that it's not doing this, you know. The way this works is, this is the way your loop transmits and receives. Picture taking this like a bicycle where you're rolling it down, that's the way it's going. Off the sides, there's more of a null. So this can be directional by turning it like this. If there was somebody north of you, you would kind of have it facing sort of like this. It's not going to be like a Yagi, but you're going to null off some of the stuff here. So if I had a little bit of noise from the air conditioning, let's say on my travel trailer and I'm back here, I could totally null that out just a little bit, have my signal going this way. So let me grab my radio real quick. These are all tight. You can take the other strap here and go like this and kind of get this out of the way, like this. And we'll get my radio real quick and I'll just show you about how easy it is to tune something like this. And I don't know if I'll be making contacts on it today. I'll let you listen to a couple of them. But you may say, well, what good is that antenna video if you've never showed us making contacts on it? Well, again, my opinion on this means nothing for this video, because you can go online and see countless of thousands of people that are using these antennas and how good they work. And I have used this and made contacts at 20 watts, and I can do it at 5. And it will happen. You'll see videos on it. I just don't know how much time I have today before that cloud right here gets over my head and starts raining. But I'm gonna get the radio real quick, and also let me show you a couple more things. The bag. Now this canvas bag, Condor, okay, Condor Outdoor Products, designed in California. Great little bag for this. I don't think you're gonna fit every single thing in there, especially this box. I might get a bigger bag, you know, something like an MPass bag to put all this in. But I think they had recommended, well, a lot of people are going to do their own thing anyway, so we're not going to put too much into the bag and raise the cost. So you can put all your loops and coax in here, the posts and all that. You probably have to find something for this tuning box, but it does come with the bag. And as I said, it's got the, I got one more coax in here. It probably came from my P loop, because I have 1, 2, 3. So let me get the radio real quick and show you the tuning. All right, let's see if I can get this in the camera at the same time with the loop here. And this is my, if you haven't seen it before, my Xiegu X5105. I sold my G90 and kept this. And the reason was it's got a battery built in. I could use this like a walkie-talkie, the PTT button and a mic around the front if I wanted to. Bigger screen's got the SWR calibrate, or SWR functionality, graphing on here. Decodes digital modes like PSK and RIDI. I love this radio, 5 watts. Now, we're gonna go. Okay, we're on 20 meters right now, okay? And here's how this is gonna work. You're gonna wanna use a full duty cycle, like a solid carrier for this to inject, into the antenna in order for you to tune it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set the antenna B all the way to 10 meters, okay? On the front here, you'll see I have power output. See if I can get that. So I got power output over here and I got SWR. The idea is to get maximum forward, minimum SWR. I'm going to switch this mode to AM because I'll get yelled at if I use FM, but this one doesn't have a ready mode on it. So I can either key up and go boop or inject a signal with something. I'm going to use AM, okay? And I'm going to, my tuner is off. I'm going to use the transmit button up here. And I'm going to start, if I transmit, watch what happens to the SWR. Watch. You see? Full SWR, 0 forward. Now I'm going to start, first I'm going to tune this up a little bit and see if the received signal comes in louder. That's the first indication that you're getting resonant. All right, so it came up a little bit. Now I'm going to transmit and watch for the SWR to come down. Watch the SWR, it's real sharp tuning, real fine. You'll see it, yep. There you go. There you go. Full forward, okay? It's hard doing this in the, there you go, okay? Minimum SWR, all right? Now at that point I can go back to sideband and you'll hear all right, let's go to, there's a few stations out there. We're gonna go to 17 meters. All right, we'll go right here to 17. Now watch, I'll go back to AM. I'm gonna key up, I'm gonna go back on here. So you ready? Watch. Okay. That's it. Minimum SWR, minimum reflected, all forward. I think I can go all the way down to 30 meters on this single loop. Let's try it. 10.140. Let's try this. We're gonna go to AM. Okay, here we go. Okay. There you go. 30 meters, all forward, 0 reflected. Okay. It's one of the great things about this Chameleon F-Loop 2.0 is now I could take this apart in a matter of minutes. For those who are traveling or portable, you'll be back on the trail with your QRP gear in no time. This. One, two, three. And away I go. That was one video on the Chameleon F-Loop 2.0. So the next video, I'm going to have it set up on my porch there, making some contacts on my porch. Might have a cigar in hand, maybe a nice beer. I'll do it right there and show you how efficient that could be. That's the F-Loop 2.0. And more videos on the way. Thanks to Chameleon for sending that. Thank you guys for watching. And check out the other channels on, other videos on my other channel, which are coming soon on the Ponderosa. 7.3 KJ4YZI.